Welcome back to another episode of Travel News. I'm your host, Robert Witham. I scour the news for stories of interest to travelers and those who love the great outdoors, so you don't have to. And I try in each episode to keep you apprised of what's going on out there. Well, in this episode, this is a kind of a serious story here. The San Miguel County Sheriff's Office in Colorado, that's the area around Telluride, has issued a cautionary warning. The San Miguel County Sheriff's Office arrested a man this week who had been built an illegal camp on private property in Telluride. A cache of weapons was found at the campsite. The weapons included knives, hatchets, a crossbow, and several swords. Now, if someone had these things in their home, they collected these items, it probably wouldn't even be a big deal. But considering the circumstances, which we'll get into here, it is kind of a big deal, and it is concerning. The campsite was just yards off a popular hiking trail. So according to a press release from the Sheriff's Department, Sheriff William Masters wants the citizens and visitors to our county to know of an armed man who has been illegally camping in the Telluride area. Note the tone of this statement. This is a serious statement. And most press releases about an arrest or something are they're just about, this was done, this is what happened, this is who we arrested and why, that sort of thing. This is has a different tone to it, and they literally say it's a cautionary warning. They want anybody living in or traveling in the Telluride area to be aware of this individual and the risks posed by this situation. The sheriff's office clearly believes that this guy is a threat to the public. Now, the press release goes on to note the man has been arrested 3 times in the Norwood and Telluride area since July 1st. So, since July 1st, this guy's been arrested 3 times, including for weapons offenses, burglary of a local laundromat, possession of methamphetamine, trespassing, and theft. This is not a good guy, okay? I mean, I hope he gets his life together at some point, but right now this is not a good guy, and it's not a guy you want hanging out in an illegal campsite yards off a hiking trail with an entire cache of weapons, given his history. So he's now also facing charges of camping on private property in addition to all the other stuff. Now get this, okay, the story's crazy enough, that's freaky enough by itself, but here, get this. The judge in this case has repeatedly released this man on personal recognizance bonds over the objection of the district attorney's office. I don't know what's going on in San Miguel County, but I'm going to tell you, they need a new judge, and they need a new judge like today. That is ridiculous. We're not even talking about just a first offense. We're talking about multiple offenses with weapons and drugs and theft and burglary, and the judge just keeps letting him out on a PR bond. And it gets even better, though. According to this wasn't noted in the press release, but according to other news sources, deputies do not know this man's whereabouts. So, and I think that's why the Sheriff's Department is making the press release they did, so that people can be aware of this and be alert if they're in that area. And also from Sheriff Masters, in light of the past week's double homicide of campers outside Moab, I want to caution people to be aware of their surroundings. I'm going to be covering that story very soon, the one from Moab. I've been waiting for a little more information because information is pretty sparse at this point, but I will be covering that as well as anything we can learn from that might be helpful to us as travelers and campers, hikers, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, excellent point, regardless of whether something like this thing in Telluride is going on or the thing in Moab is going on or not, it's really a good idea to always be aware of your surroundings. Situational awareness is your first and best tool in staying safe all the time, whether you're in a stick-built house in town, you're shopping, or you're out in the backcountry. Staying aware of your surroundings is the first key in staying safe. Being aware of what's going on, and if something isn't right, gives you those precious seconds or hopefully even minutes to remove yourself from a situation and take action to get somewhere safe and to not be a victim of some kind of crime. Maintaining good situational awareness can also help you avoid other non-crime things, but like accidents and injuries that can occur when if you're just not really alert to what's going on around you. So anyway, that's it for this episode of Travel News. Hope you found this information helpful. And definitely, if you're in the Telluride area, be vigilant about this, because we know there is a situation ongoing with a judge who doesn't want to keep someone in jail who clearly needs to be in jail until he can get his life straightened out. So that's it for this episode anyway. And if you're interested in learning more about being a nomad or traveling as a lifestyle, and you want to know more about my thoughts on that, you may want to check out my online course, Nomad Lifestyle 101. It's affordably priced, and it provides a good base of information for everything you need to know to be successful as a nomad, and I do include sections in there on security and safety. So check that out at robertwitham.com/courses if you want to know more about that. Meanwhile, thanks for joining me in this episode, everyone. We'll catch you in the next one.